So people often ask me, why did you start Twilight Wish? Twilight Wish was started because I knew there was something I had to do in this world from a very young age. And I thought I accomplished all the goals I wanted to accomplish. I had gotten my degrees and I was working and I had just made 6 figures. And I thought, okay, all right, it's 39 years to get here and I'm here. And I realized that I was not where I needed to be. When I was very young, I was 9 years old, I was in a hit and run and I was ambulanced to the hospital. I was unconscious and I was in the light of Christ. I saw and felt what that feels like. And that's what's real. And what's here is not what's real. And you never forget that. So at the age of 39, I knew that I hadn't yet done what I was here to do. And I prayed on it. What is it you want me to do? And over the next few years, I got very close to what that was. And just through paying attention to what was going on around me. I was a healthcare consultant. I went into nursing homes, and I was seeing that there was this feeling of the air being sucked out of me. It didn't matter whether they were well run or not well run. There was a lot of lack of hope from people, and a general feeling that no one cared. And it was taking my breath away, and I realized somebody needed to do something to show that we still care. So over the next probably few months, I was praying on this, and even went to Ocean City between 10th and 12th, and I was standing there with my feet in the sand as the sun was going down behind me, and I was looking and I was saying, what is it you want me to do? And that was in the year 2000, August of 2000. But what ended up happening is, after seeing this nursing home, I'm going to call it a crisis of people not caring and not doing anything, and then praying on it, I was at a diner with my daughter, and I was watching this table of elderly women who were paying for their $5 buffet lunch, and they were counting their dollars and their change, and it hit me that they don't do this very often. So I called the waitress over, and I treated them, and it's not a big deal, but don't let them know, because my daughter was young and would have been embarrassed, and turns out the waitress did let them know, and they came over to my table, and one of the ladies asked me to stand, and she grabbed me and hugged me and said, we didn't know there were people like you anymore. And that really affected me. So several months later, I found myself in a position where my company was closing, and I was the vice president of finance, and I was going to be the last man standing. And I had a lot of pressure, and I just needed to get away. Called my sister. I said, let's go on a cruise, and booked a cruise 2 weeks before it left. So we got the worst room on the whole boat. It was all the way in the basement. And when you flushed the toilet, the water came up. Anyway, we were on that cruise when I met the doctor on that cruise and was talking to him, and he said, oh, it sounds like you want to do like a wish foundation, or he said like make a wish for seniors. And I'm sort of like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to give hope and inspiration. I want them to know that they can still have a wish come true. And that's how it evolved. That's how it came about. I came home and I researched it, and nobody was doing it, and there were no websites and nothing. There was nothing. And then I kept having these dreams that I had to start this. And I dreamt this woman was on the elevator, and she had these beautiful blue eyes and this white hair, and she was next to me, and unfortunately the elevator crashed, and this is terrible. Her head rolled off, and she looked up at me and she said, well, she didn't say anything. She just looked up at me, those blue eyes. And I woke up like, what was that? And I realized that, that's a woman who didn't have her wish come true because you didn't start that foundation yet. So that day, I called myself and said, start the paperwork. It was a lot of paperwork. You have to read, and I didn't have any money, so I wasn't going to be able to pay any lawyer to do it, and I had to read all the information to start the nonprofit and then to start the 501c3. But it was July 1st of 2003, and I filed that paperwork, and there you go. That's how it happened. Thank you for listening. Oh, this is my first video.